Hi, I'm Black Dragon, and welcome to another edition of Black Dragon Biker TV. And as always, we'd like to thank you all for tuning in from wherever it is in the world that you happen to be. This is another edition of Ask Black Dragon. So we're going to take on an interesting topic today that I call no one percenter blessing. No, what really happens when you don't get your one percenter blessing? 11 things that you can expect, or something like that. We'll see when I finally make the darn video. And I want to talk about that because I think it's going to be kind of interesting. First, I want to say thanks to the Long Haul Bandits, TC, Long Haul Bandits Trucking Club, and the Long Haul Bandits. Is it Trucking Club or Trucker Club? Long Haul Bandits Trucker Club or Long Haul Bandits Trucking Club? I'm not sure. But the Long Haul Bandits sent me this wonderful gear, and I like to, all my folks that watch me, that are my subscribers, that send me their gear, I'm going to wear it and talk about you and your company and what you do. And the Long Haul Bandits Trucking Club. These guys, Trucker Club maybe. These guys are really cool group of guys that have started a trucker club organization of truckers that operates like a motorcycle club brotherhood. So I'm leaving a link of their description below. So if you're a long haul trucker and you want to get down with a trucking club that works like an MC, and a lot of these guys are in MCs as well, and they have a brotherhood that they promote over trucking and being gone from your home and long distances and stuff. And as you can imagine, I think this might be one of like the first of its kind. So the Long Haul Truckers Club. Sancho is the national president, and I have had the pleasure and honor to be able to sit in their meetings and help them form their nation and the things they're going to do. And they're pretty big already. So I think, and they sent me this cool gear, man, and I love gear. So I've got this cool long haul trucker gear. Good buddy. Well, they don't say that anymore, do they? KLS 026, the Black Dragon, talking at you. Coo, coo, coo. We're getting down on this here highway, westward leading, still proceeding. Coo, coo, talking at you. 10-9. Or something like that. No, wait, 10-9 means repeat. 1033 is traffic accident. I used to know some of this stuff. 1020 is what's your location? Yeah, I don't even know if they talk on the CB anymore. But anyway, hang out with those guys. They're lots of fun. All right. Now, you are going to hear a lot of stuff. You've been hearing a lot of stuff on social media about the discussions are ever increasing about this idea of the so-called patch police. And everybody's tired of them, tired of being rolled up on, having your colors taken and being threatened. And you've got a lot of pundits that have channels like mine are talking about how you don't have to take that and how it's going away or it better go away or all these kinds of things. And a lot of stuff you're hearing is to hell with it. Just start your own club. And I'm not one here to tell grown folks what to do. You're grown, make grown decisions. But everything that you do, be prepared to stand for it. And it's hard to be able to be prepared to stand for things when you don't know exactly or necessarily what you're going to be facing. So that's all this video is to do. This video is to tell you 11 things that you may face, 11 things for you to watch out for. So I'm going to try to make it as quick as possible, painless as possible. And no matter what you read in the comments, if you are new to this and you don't know what's going on, what I'm saying is what I've seen in my 30 plus years. It doesn't absolutely mean that's going to happen to you, but I've seen it happen a whole lot. So for all the folks that tell you what to do to skirt the rules or skirt the system or to skirt the OMCs or whatever the case may be, a lot of stuff in the world is what it is. So it's best to know what you're skirting and what's going to happen, what you might expect if you do. So then it doesn't have to come to you as a surprise. So I've heard a lot of people say, well, there's no outlaws in my area. There's no one percenters in my area. There's none of that. There's no coalitions in my area. I'm just going to start my club. I don't ever see anybody. You probably don't ever see anybody, and you probably won't. until you put those colors on. And then you'll be amazed at how they come out of the damn woodwork. But some of you guys are right. There are no one percenters in your area, and you'll start your club up, and you might not see or hear from anybody for 5 years. And then the moment that you decide to go to the county seat, to go to the county fair, and you take you and your brothers there, and you pull up in a gas station, that'll be the day that the BS begins. So know this: if you patch up in any territory with the wrong patch system, or without getting a blessing, or you want to put a state on your bottom rock or any of that, you will face a superior opposing force, which will be a dominant one percenter, also known as an OMG by law enforcement, or an OMC, or Outlaws, or an outlaw, any of that kind of stuff. You're going to face them. That's number one, sooner or later. Number two, that force, that opposing force, that superior opposing force in many cases will be also dedicated. They will be opposing, they may be superior, and they will be dedicated. Dedicated to showing you by the strongest means necessary that you will follow the protocols. And that is even if they have to use force. At first, it's always something polite. Hey man, if I were you guys, I'd take that off. Then the next meeting is just a little bit, and it increases. And it can increase all the way to force. Or it can increase all the way to one of your brothers or yourself getting hurt or getting killed. That is the truth. All right, number three. If you're going to be facing an opposing force that could be superior to you in will and determination, and they're also proven. These guys are proven. You and your brothers might not be proven, but these guys are proven. Some of these clubs have been around for 100 years. So if you're going to be facing something like that, face it with brothers you know. Face it with brothers that you know and that you have a true relationship with. This ain't for folks you met in the cafe. This ain't for folks you picked up on the internet and sent some patches out to. This is the real deal. It better be you're facing them with brothers that are your homies from the hood you grew up swinging since second grade, or your battle buddies from Iraq or Afghanistan, or your homies that you were in jail with, or something like that. You need to face it with brothers that you know. Number four, you might not have the numbers. These guys have an army, and you may have a small army. So if your numbers are not sufficient, you may not have the personnel required to protect your members if you're set upon. 4 or 5 guys facing 45 guys. David slew Goliath. This is true. But if you don't have those brothers that you know, and you don't have the numbers, you may have an issue. You just might not have enough guys. So sometimes you might have to whisper before you roar. You might have to crawl before you walk. You may have to put together your MC, because 99% MCs have stepped out on their own. They've stepped out without blessings before. But they had brothers they knew, and they had numbers up. And so you may have to take some time. You guys want a motorcycle club right now. You can't delay your gratification. And sometimes it takes delayed gratification. Sometimes you might have to go for years while you build yourself up till you can get to the point where you step up and you don't take anything from anybody. That can happen for a 99% club. It has. But you're going to whisper before you roar. And if you go 5, the whisper before you roar route, once you've built up all these chapters and everything like that, and you've been telling the guys for years, okay, guys, one day we're going to step out, we're putting on 3-piece passes, we're going to put on a state, and we're going to roar. Be prepared to lose half of those guys when you make that announcement and you go to make that move. Half those guys are going to drop off. Everybody likes a winning team. Everybody loves to swagger around and say blah, blah, blah till we die, until you're facing that. And then be prepared for half of your folks to just fall off. It's kind of like a ride. 80 people say they're going and 8 wind up going. It's just like that. You've seen it before. Number 6, don't be so silly that you win a battle only to lose a war. I saw 2 clubs go at it. The 1%er club was mad at a club that was standing up without permission. They went and they put down an enforcement action. And the club actually, they hurt one of those 1%er guys. They hurt him, almost cut his damn arm off. They had to get that guy to the hospital. So they won that little battle. But the next day, the word was out, If we see these cuts anywhere in the city, we're going to just shoot them off your back. So those guys all laid their cuts down. They won a battle and lost the war. The war was they wanted a motorcycle club, but because they were focusing not on the big picture, they made a move that got them shut down permanently. And most of those guys were never able to get back on the set again in any club. So that can happen. Don't lose the battle to win. Don't win the battle to lose the war. Number 7, be prepared to go every place together. Yeah, so when you stand up and you say, yeah, blah, 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 we're not taking that. We're going to do our own thing. Don't be stupid enough to be riding out there on the set by yourself. Don't leave your president out there by himself because you're at war and armies need an army. So when you start a war, you're at a war. Don't be slipping. Be prepared to go every place you go together. Be prepared not to wear your cut everywhere, especially if you're alone. That's part of that. That's what you might not have been thinking. They don't always tell you that. That's part of that. Number 8, be prepared to spend some time in prison. I'll tell you why. When you're going to get down like them, you're going to take risks like them, and you might make mistakes like them, and you might have to pay the price like they pay. Believe me, that other side is prepared to die and go to prison. That's in their nomenclature. That's part of their recruiting. I've had some of those guys tell me, yeah, the most interesting thing I started was my sponsor told me, listen, the only 2 things I can guarantee you is jail and an early grave. Everything else is gravy. Huh? I remember one of my buddies told me, when they told me that, I was out. I was like, no, you got the wrong cat. It's got to be the life for you. And so when you're facing those folks, you got to face them with that same kind of vigor that they're coming with, which means that you're taking the same risks with the legal system. So I think of the thing and so what's going on in your mind might not be what the court sees. So I think about the guy in Texas that was in the kinfolks, and his brothers were fighting. They had gone to a banditos club, not their clubhouse, but a club they frequented, and they were got in a fight in there, and they were getting their asses handed to them. And so the president, oh my God, I gotta go protect my guys. They're being hurt. He runs in there and runs into the club. I did a video about it, and opens up, just unloads his gun in the club and runs out. In his mind, he's protecting his guys. In the district attorney's mind, why didn't you just call the police? Because that's how we handle things. We call the police, and you didn't handle it that way. So, well, guess what? You weren't self-protecting nothing, and they put the guy in prison. He killed a president. He killed a Bandidos president, and he crippled a guy for life and shot several other people. Needless to say, they put him in jail forever, basically. So that was his contribution. So what's yours going to be? Just because it's in your mind, the jury didn't see him as self-protecting the damn thing. They saw him as somebody who walked into a club and shot into a group of folks, leaving one person dead, and they saw him as a murderer. They saw him as as somebody that they needed to put away forever. So that comes, I'm just saying what comes with this. There's some things that come with this. Being in a motorcycle club world, there's some things that come with it. There's a lot of fun chasing women, this, that, and the other, but there's some dangerous elements too. So I just wanted to let you know because I want all the sides to be known. What you decide to do is up to you, but these are some things that I've seen happen. Number 9, be prepared for the police to target your ass just like they target the 1%ers. Do bad things, get treated like a bad guy. Bad boy, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? So when this piggybacks on number 8, you run into the club and shoot up a bunch of folks. Be prepared to suffer. Be prepared. It happens. Number 10. Be prepared to be shunned by the entire MC set of 99%ers and all the other 1%ers that see what you're doing too. Don't think you're going to run up into our parties and have like we know they're after you. We saw your very public YouTube posts. We know they're after you, and they're coming to my club anniversary to regulate on you. I got $15, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 tied up in my party. And I'm trying to make that back and then some. And here your janky butt comes up with all your troubles. You got your 7 or 8 guys and you got your $10 in your hand. That's $70, $80. I'm going to risk my whole entire party for your $80. Look, bro, until you guys get that situation handled that you're dealing with, we don't need that over here. Or some clubs will let you in, and we always see it the next day on the news. Such and such party got shut up. So I don't think clubs should be regulating on other clubs at other people's parties because we're trying to make money and live and survive and exist. But what I think isn't always what happens. And here's number 10. Here's the really ugly part about this whole damn thing. If you've created this war and you've had all this stuff going back and forth, eventually you're going to have peace. So at the end of the day, you're still going to have to sit down at the table to make this peace. You're going to have that meeting that you started all this crap not to have in the first place. Even these guys that fight against each other, and you see these wars that they have in the various in the nightclub or in the restaurant or over in the casino or whatever, even those guys come back together and sit down at the table to stop the war. So you're still going to have that damn meeting. Even Iron Order, probably the most infamous motorcycle club, 99%. I kind of think of them as 99%ers in terms of they don't present as 1%ers. Even Iron Order says to this day, probably the most notorious club, hated by so many, they'll even tell you, we did a lot of things wrong, and what we're trying to do today is different than what we did yesterday. So a lot of times folks will use them as an example. Well, look what Iron Order did. They had a lot of problems too. They had a lot of issues, and they will be the first to tell you we did a lot of things wrong. And they now are talking to the folks that hated them to get things straightened out. Number 10, back to the table with the same folks that you didn't want to go to the table with to begin with, because that's the only way you get peace. Listen, blessings are not necessarily a bad thing. It's not necessarily bowing down to anybody. It kind of is what you make of it and how you approach it. But you know, it can be a peaceful way to get what you want. Or you can do it another way. You can do it any way you want to. This is not Black Dragon telling you what to do, which is the rap I get all the time. You're preaching. You're preaching to the folks what they should do, and they should. I'm not telling you a damn thing to do. Do what your grown-up self wants to do. I'm just telling you on my little pink sheets here some of the things that I've seen happen to those folks who go a different path. The path can be harder. Most of the time it is. My commanding officer used to always say we all reserve the right to get smarter later. That means we all deserve second and third and fourth and fifth and 10th chances. But he used to also say, however, that being said, the stupid shall be punished. And so I always try to be smart if I can. Anyway, listen. We love to have you guys tune into some of our other stuff. BikerLiberty.com. You can get our news stuff over there. And also at BikerLiberty.com, you can get my kind of videos and stuff that I can't post here because of the censoring or whatever. So BikerLiberty.com, you get the full uncut Black Dragon. Also, we've got gear, BlackDragonsGear.com. And the Dragon's Lair Motorcycle Chaos is our online podcast that you can get anywhere podcasts are gotten or had or to be gotten or found. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. Let me know your comments in the comment section below. Those of you guys that start motorcycle clubs out, man, remember the average motorcycle club only lasts 3 years. So Everything is against you to begin with. Concentrate on your brotherhood. Concentrate on loving the we. Concentrate on making yourself a strong family that no one can separate before you want to go presenting yourself on the set in the first place. Most of you guys don't want to be in a motorcycle club for the right reasons. Most of you guys belong in riding clubs because motorcycle clubbing is taking everything that you can and giving that to a family and thinking more about them than you think about yourself. And most especially, trying to treat the next person that you call brother like a precious piece of solid, precious metal, gold, or a diamond or something. And when you can treat people like that, you won't do things that put your brother's lives in jeopardy. Every move you make will be one where you're not trying to be smarter later. You'll do everything with proper research and everything with proper determination and dedication, and you'll get whatever you need and you'll get whatever you want. I'm Black Dragon. That's my 2 cents. Thanks for tuning in, and get skinny.
They ask why I'm single, ain't ready to mingle, ain't ready to mingle. They ask why I'm single, ain't ready to mingle, ain't ready to mingle. They ask why I'm single, ain't ready to mingle, ain't ready to mingle. They ask why I'm single, they ask why I'm single, ain't ready to mingle, ain't ready to mingle. They ask why I'm single, ain't ready to mingle, ain't ready to mingle. They ask why I'm single, ain't ready to mingle, ain't ready to mingle. They ask why I'm single, ain't ready to mingle, ain't ready to mingle. The ex why I'm single, ain't ready to mingle, ain't ready to mingle. The ex why I'm single, ain't ready to mingle, ain't ready to mingle. The ex why I'm single, ain't ready to mingle, ain't ready to mingle.